Hello and welcome to the Upland Daily Show, the show for buying and selling deals on real estate. I am your host, Earthshaker. Thank you guys for joining another episode of the Upland Daily Show. Today we're going to talk about an Oakland stress test, how that went, and the drama around that. They're also talking about how to grow your account to 1 million UPX and become a director. That's exciting. And also talking about our stats of the day, our city stats, some movement happening that you guys are going to want to pay attention to. So to kick it off, I know there are a lot of frustrated people today with the collection drop of Oakland, but they dropped 15 properties, if you don't know, in Oakland, collection properties, and kind of let people, try to find them and mint them. Also a bunch of pinatas to try to incentivize people to join and use the system. And most users reported a very laggy experience, myself included. I wasted, a lot of people weren't able to send. I wasted 4 sends myself. And while it was a little bit disappointing, there were dozens of players who definitely promised to quit on the Discord. But that aside, I think Upland did a phenomenal job today. Huge improvements, in my opinion. This was a stress test, as pointed out by people in the Discord. And the only failure would have been here for the stress test is if we didn't learn anything from it. And today they definitely learned something from it. They told us what they learned. They somehow doubled the traffic of the Oakland launch. I'm not sure how they did that, but what they said was the problem they found was that the sends were being duplicated in the back end. And for whatever reason that happened, sounds like they're going to solve that, get on that issue. But that's what they discovered today. Make the ecosystem grow more smoothly in the future and handle more users. I mean, ultimately, that's what we want. So that helps the economy of the game. And if we can't handle more users, then the game will stop growing. So this was a necessary evil, if you will, if you think that way, to get the game up to speed so we can continue to support this phenomenal growth that we're seeing in Upland and appreciation of our properties. So users who did attempt to send, they said, will receive their sends back during that time window. So even if you weren't in that area, I think in Oakland, I think you still get your sends back. Even if your sends went through, you still get your sends back from what I read. Great job to the Upland team. Communication was amazing today. I kept getting notifications of what was going on, and I think they did a phenomenal job there on the communication. As far as the full Oakland release, sounds like we're going to have to wait for a while and possibly another stress test before it's all released, but progress nonetheless, my friends, progress nonetheless. All right, into our stats today. Some exciting trends developing here. Unminted properties are down to 6,800. 6,600 of those are FSA. 355 non-FSA properties in Brooklyn, probably from visitors dropping out there. And also 169 FSA properties. So if you still want to get in Brooklyn on the FSA side, looks like you can. There's 61,800 properties locked to pull from. So plenty of available quantity for the Oakland team to pull from. So we don't need another city launch, but we do need to figure out Oakland here sooner than later. On the floors today, San Fran is up 10% day over day. That's big, guys. Fresno is up 15% day over day, even though they're inflated 150. Like the 15 percentage move makes a difference on your bottom lines of properties. I think there. Oakland is up 120. Sorry, Oakland is up about 10% on UPX, 30% since Monday. So Oakland, people are still FOMOing into Oakland. If you're looking to unload some properties right now, I think if you got some Oakland properties you want to get rid of, I would do it now. I don't know how long that's going to last. I certainly do it before they unlock the next wave of Oakland. I imagine once the next wave comes, things are gonna die down. Even when they announce it, it might temper out a little bit. Fiat, though, you can get in a Fiat at 120% markup right now in Oakland. I haven't looked at the neighborhoods where it's 120% markup, but you could probably easily flip those. It's just Fiat in 120% and then sell them for UPX at about 140. It's a little bit risky. Like, who knows the neighborhood? I don't know it, but you could make a quick 20% UPX right there. Manhattan is up 5%. It's steadily increasing floors. So if it continues like this, who knows? At some point it might pop. I'm waiting. Brooklyn is edging up too, also up 5% as well. Yesterday, our largest minted UPX transaction, 300,000. Not much to mint. So that's why you're not seeing a ton of value there. Largest secondary UPX transaction. It's pretty large, guys. 3.8 million. I mean, that's sizable. The largest transactions yesterday were all accepted offers. So never count out those accepted offers if you're looking to make a move, especially a big move, it looks like. Secondary fiat transaction was huge yesterday, $3,333. That's a lot of money, guys. And that was for a Manhattan in Midtown. It was actually the 10th largest property in Manhattan. I don't know if we can pull it up here, but Manhattan 53. Let's see if we can pull it up. Building. It's right next to the Museum of Art. Yeah, 53 West 53. It's a pretty cool building, actually. I mean, check out the pictures of this thing. Like, I would buy it, but I don't know if I'd spend $3,000 on it. It's right next to Central Park, it looks like, just to the side of that, close to the Empire State Building. Pretty cool building, but I don't know if it's worth that, but it's pretty exciting buy, regardless. All right. Now, what you guys have all been waiting for, the $1 million UPX growth strategy. Now, let's get into how I think you can build a 1 million UPX wallet here. So when you start off, you can buy FSA properties. So right now, I mean, FSA properties are plenty. If you're below $100,000, or sorry, 100,000 UPX net worth, you can buy FSA properties. So if we go into these, look at the FSA property values. So here in Oakland, I just pulled up, went to UPX World. I went to the tab that says Big Data Properties. Just clicked on that, and then you can select your city or all the cities, but you just go to cheapest unminted here, and here you can find out where you need to go to grab the cheapest unminted properties. So this is the first step of building a $1 million net worth and getting director here in Upland. So check out these cheap properties, go mint these guys. And what you can do to start out is like, you can just flip these properties, right? So you can flip them. And I figured, you can sell these. I looked it up. You can sell them for about $8,500 right now. And you lose a little bit in fees, but your profit for each property is about $5,400. It's a conservative estimate. So starting off, your first 100,000, I think, is like the easiest to make. You just flipping FSA properties. You can sell 2 a week. It takes you a while to get there, but totally doable. The trick is don't go above $100,000 net worth. So if you do 18 of those and make, let's say, about $97,000 in UPX. Now, the trick is after that, it gets a little more tricky because now you got to compete with the bigger players and a much more a bigger group of players with more money, right? With more UPX. So the pro FSA strategy, I'm sorry, did I say direct earlier? I meant pro, but as far as level. So the strategy here is the idea is you can still buy FSA properties until you reach that 100 grand. So when you reach 97, you load up on some FSA properties. I wouldn't load up on all of it. I would buy like 80,000 worth. So if you buy 85,000 worth here, and you save 10,000 UPX to buy some other non-FSA properties and get into the non-FSA side of things, you can buy about 34 properties at 2,500 UPX. So these will be FSAs. So you'll have to hold these though. You can sell 2 a week, so you'll have a large inventory to start dwindling those down every week. But you'll make like 6,000. Well, it'll be 5,400 again. I didn't put the fees in. Let's put the fees into here. They're just assuming 10% fees. I think there's a solid number out there. You can figure out what it is, but just for illustration here, so you can make, like 2,600. Oh, no, I did put it in there. Well, let's just do that. There you go. 290,000 UPX is what you can make just off of, like, that'll be your ending balance after you sell all those properties. At the same time, you'll start flipping the non-FSA properties. And in order to get to $1 million, so this is like where you'll max out on your FSA properties in net worth. Once you start selling the non-FSA, buying and selling the non-FSA properties, your profit goes down if you keep the same strategy. But to supplement that, I'm just assuming that, like, after all these FSA property buys and selling, like, you get to know the markets, the neighborhoods, like, your strategy gets better, more refined. You're a more educated flipper. So just assuming first that you're not an educated flipper, you don't learn anything, and you're selling status quo based off your regular mints, you can still generally get like $3,500, or sorry, 3,500 UPX profit on each one of your mints to sells. It's really easy to do just looking at the data here. I mean, is it this tab? I think it's this. I don't know. I maybe lost the tab. But basically, like, a lot of these 27 UP2 properties, which is like the pretty common size that we're talking about. Look, that one's going for 8,000. That one's a lot lower, but this one's 8,200, 7,000, 7,000. I mean, you'll probably get bigger properties than this. And these guys mint for, these are up 300%. So these guys minted for like 2,000 or something, right? So these numbers are pretty conservative as far as like buying and selling non-FSA properties. For those properties, flipping those at 3,500 UPX profit, you'd have to buy and sell like 200. It looks like non-FSA properties. Sound right? Yeah, cool. So, but what I say on the fast track here, though, the fast track method, after you hit, after you start getting a non-FSA, if you understand like where the good places are to buy, collections or like corner streets or areas that are close to collections, close to train stations, things like that, things that are like areas that are desirable, you could easily average sell yours for much higher than that 8,500. I mean, look at the transactions here. We've got a 27 here. This one's Piedmont. This one sold for 26,000 UPX. And this guy, I mean, they're a little more expensive when you mint them, but this is still like a 400% markup there. Let's see. This guy sold for 600, nearly 600% markup. I mean, these numbers are huge, right? In some of these areas. So if you just buy better, I mean, like, minting is going to be hard in like today, because a lot of properties aren't released at once. The game just can't handle it. I imagine more properties will be minted at the same time later on in the game, as things kind of, the bottlenecks kind of get figured out. So you'll have more of a pick of where to buy. And I mean, this is just be more educated about where you buy, and your average sales numbers will go up. So I think 16 is conservative, and then you only need to buy and sell 90 properties. Let's see if that's right. Oh, no, I even got that wrong. It's less than that. All right, I fixed it. All right, it's all fixed. So I had to subtract it from the wrong areas. So you actually only need 65 properties to flip here, after you're done with the FSA side of things. Selling at 16,000 UPX. I mean, if you were really smart with your buys and sells, you only need about to buy and sell about 50 of them. Yeah, it's not bad. So that doesn't even include any like appreciation that happens with the entire game. As we can see today, properties are appreciating about 5% a day today. So you do this over the course of a couple of weeks or like 2 months, you might only need to buy and sell like a fraction of these properties, right? Like 70% of these properties. So that's the $1 million growth strategy. You can use, whatever you start off with in game. Maybe you purchase a little bit of UPX, just don't go over 100,000 at first. And so you buy a bunch of FSAs would be my recommendation. And, or even grab some giveaways from DJ Shorts on the Shorts, Upland Shorts channel, and come here and do this strategy, and you'll be, on your way to a million UPX in no time. Well, thanks again for joining, guys. I appreciate you. Smash that like and subscribe button if I added some value to your game. Thanks for stopping by, and talk to you tomorrow. Got a big interview with one of the biggest whales in the game, so don't miss that. He's going to tell us all about what he thinks is in the future for Upland, and how he thinks it's going to be going about 6 months from now, and his ideas for the future here. Thanks, guys, again for joining. Have a great one. See you tomorrow.
Upland Real Estate Digest is an entertainment service. All views are for entertainment purposes only and not to be construed as financial advice. Upland Real Estate Digest is not affiliated with Upland.